And now, coming to the stage, Ethan Sweetland-May. Ethan, come on up and give him a warm welcome.
That's good. That's good.
You're tall.
So, it's my opinion that the more children you have, it's not that they are more destructive by nature. It's just that, you put a kid in a room with an aquarium of fish, there's like 1 in 4 chance they're going to feed it when they shouldn't, right? And if you have 4 kids in the room, like for sure someone is going to do it. And if you have 8 kids in the room, it's going to get fed twice and fish will die, right? So my family, I'm one of 11 kids. And my parents really should have only gotten durable pets, but we didn't always do that, right? The first pet we had that I really remember we had this black lab that was insane. She was like crazy. She like got hit by a car and survived once. Like we let her out the back door and like she would kill any animal she found. Like she killed more squirrels than like any dog I've ever known. Like and we could lay on her and she wouldn't bite us, and like she was great. She was the perfect dog for us, right? So we had Blackie, we had a couple of crazy feral cats who like lived with us part of the time, and those were the kind of animals that my family needed, right? One summer, and I don't know how and I don't know why, we ended up with a bird cage with like 4 sweet little parakeets, right? Like this, I mean, and I love little birds. Like it was magical, and like at the time there were like 6 or 7 of us. I don't know how many there were, and we'd like gather around. And we're like, oh, they're so cute. Oh, I love them. One day, we were homeschooled as well, right? So we're always around these birds in this house, right? So one day, my mom like got me and my 2 younger brothers like doing schoolwork in one room. And then like my older sister and older brother were in the room with the parakeets, like doing some other lesson. And my mom took like 10 minutes to step out into the backyard, and like, I don't know how she survived us, but like she had like 10 minutes and she was like outside, right? So we're all, sort of focusing, doing our schoolwork. And I'm, doing my, history assignment. And then like I hear like the door close to the room that my older siblings are in, right? And there's like a way a door closes when someone closes it gently, right? And it's like, and so Jared and Jesse are kind of, my younger brothers are still there, and so I slip over to the door, and I see my older sister, my older brother, and I'm like, I crack open the door, I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, go away! And I'm like, no, tell me! And because like, with siblings, you either have accomplices or you have informants, right? And right at that moment where like, that inclusion is the line, right? Like, we included or are we not included? Because that depends on whether you've got like somebody on your side or somebody on the way to the feds. So they're like, shut up, just get in here. And so I get in, I close the door, I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, we're gonna let the birds out of the cage. And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea, right? Because like they're locked up all the time, and we're homeschooled, we get the idea of being cloistered and you can't get out, right? So like, this is a great idea. And so like my older brother's about to open the cage, and like we hear like a sound at the door and turn around, and like there's like my 2 younger brothers like at the French glass of the door, like tap, 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 tap. And it's like, shut up, get in here, shut up. And so like we're all in there, we're like, free the birds, right? My older brother like opens the door of this cage, and like these like parakeets like all come fluttering out, and they're like, we've closed all the doors, like we're smart bad kids, and like they're flying around the room, and it's like it's magical, and like we're having such a great time, and like we had this heavy swinging wooden door between the kitchen and the dining room, and all of a sudden we hear like boom, and we look, and the door has exploded open, and our black lab is charging into the room. And as this sweet yellow parakeet dives through the air, she jumps and just gulp, one bite, gone. Total mood change. Ah! Like we're screaming, and then my older brother, dives on the dog, flips her onto her back, and begins choking her violently. We're like, no, don't do it! And like and like our dog goes, ha, 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 and hacks up this bird, just plop. And this saliva-collared little bird sits there and just goes, true. And my brother scoops up this bird and like throws it into the cage, and like the dog takes off running. And it turns out he's like, no one tell mom. And of course, mom comes back in, and the bird's back in the cage, and everyone's trying to act cool, and like all the other parakeets are like, cheep, cheep, cheep. And there's just like one parakeet that is not singing. And some of us can take the heat, some people can't. Like Mom found out, you know, there were consequences. And I mean, and you know, and then 5 days later, that parakeet died. It never sang again. And 4 days, you know, and so, I have a 4-year-old, my wife and I have a 4-year-old now, and we have a dog. Thank you.